right, so the other day I had my friend come up to me and he said, listen, Madeline, my dog knows everything. He knows his sit, down, he walks great on leash, he knows everything. He knows his recall, but sometimes he doesn't listen. I repeated that because if there's an inconsistency with your dog, more than likely there's an inconsistency with you and your training as well. And I can point out every single inconsistency with my training because of how my dogs are. Today we're going to go over why my dog doesn't listen and what to do to fix it. So your dog doesn't listen to you, like I said earlier, because you are not consistent. If you say sit and your dog sits but then immediately gets up, you're not fixing it. My dogs stay on their boundary for the most part because I have countlessly over and over and over done the repetitions and put in the work that tells my dogs, okay, if I'm going on my boundary, I need to stay there. What that looks like is, I'm really wishing one of these guys would break, but they're not. But what that looks like is fixing them every single time with no emotion. You're not getting frustrated. You're not overly happy. It's absolutely neutral. Oh, you got off your climb. Let's get back on. That's exactly what I would do if my dog were to do that. If they broke a sit, no, sit. That's exactly what I would do. So let me see, since none of these guys are budging, I got you guys on my watch so I can see if you can see if this will update. Of course, it's not updating. So give me 1 second. Let me make sure, and then we'll be back. Okay, so apparently I was in the perfect position. As soon as I stopped the video, my watch updated. So, all right, Atlas. Now that I've pulled one dog off, they are going to all try to get off. And so this will be really good to see you guys, or let you guys see exactly what I do. Now, these guys are still holding their boundary. Their command that they are following is still to hold their boundary. Now, let's see, you can see Atlas pretty well. So down, yes. Feeding the floor increases the fact that the idea for him to stay into the floor. So if you're doing a down, feed the floor. Sit. Yes. No, sit. There you go. Good job. Yeah. No. Good. No, sit. So he's having a really hard time with this. So one game you can play to add duration to any behavior is called the airplane game. So just like with kids, yes. I'm going to bring the food really close to him. If he were to go for it, I'd pull it back. Or if he would come out of a sit, I'd pull it back. That would be a no, sit, and then replay. So let's feed you two for doing good. I know I'm really, really close to you. And then, thank you. Yes. Down. Yeah. No, down. Good. Yes. Yes. Whoops. Good try. Down. See, now he's starting to get frustrated. A lot of times what I do with him is fast paced, so he's not used to me slowing things down, which was part of the reason why I picked him to demonstrate with you guys. So I'm going to ask him to come in front, down. I know, you were on my shoe. No, down. Good. Again, I'm going to do the airplane game to add duration. Yes. Good job. Go to your climb. Good. Oops. Atlas, go to your climb. Good job. So I also want to take a moment to talk about the rewards. So if you have to fix your dog, they no longer get a reward. If I have to constantly fix you, you're not doing the work yourself. So losing out on a reward is a form of punishment that is not really, it's the least aversive that I can think of, at least. And so holding back on a reward tells your dog, I did something wrong, what do I need to do to fix it? And then they actually work through it to figure out what they did wrong. A lot of times they fix themselves. Sometimes you just have to say, just repeat your cue. So no, down, no, sit, no, climb. And that's just how it is. One thing I will say is, especially with boundary training, you will get frustrated. I know I did. A lot of times I still do. And I just have to know that 9 times out of 10, it's probably my fault for not being consistent somewhere in my life. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe it was late at night. Maybe I just didn't feel like it. Maybe people were coming over, and so I was in a rush, I was busy, and I wasn't thinking about it. Those are all valid reasons for not sticking to your rules. But on the other hand, those are still the reasons why our dogs aren't listening or they're not consistent. It's always reflected back on us. And so I know this video is going to be rough. It sucks. But there are some things you can do to help, like lengthen the duration. And one of those is that airplane game. The other one is our automatic leave it. Now, I do want to say one kind of little asterisk side note about the automatic leave it. If your complaint is that your dog knows leave it, but the second food drops and you turn away, they go for the food, that's because you taught them a leave it cue. When teaching a leave it cue, it tells your dog that they can't have that food if you're there. Instead, what I teach is an automatic leave it. That automatic leave it teaches your dog that basically nothing is mine until I hear get it. And what that does is no matter if the food drops here, here, and I walk away, my dogs will not go for it. Yes. Ooh, good try. Let's just get rid of that temptation. Let's try again. It was a big one. Some people teach their dogs that YES is a release cue. I do not teach that. Yes. Perfect. No one moved, so then now we're going to pay that. That was some hard truths. And so the biggest thing that you can take away from this is that our dogs are always learning. If you want to shut it off for one day and not try and teach your dog anything, totally fine. I have those days literally all the time. But you also have to understand that that's going to come with consequences in the future. And those consequences could be that your dog doesn't listen fully or knows it sometimes, but not always. It's because you weren't on top of things. Now, you can change it around, absolutely. I guess it's 2025 now. So probably 7-8 months out of 2024, I was down for the count. I mean, I couldn't walk my dogs. I couldn't train half the time. I could hardly do anything. And so my training and my dog's skills started kind of falling back and lacking a bit. And that's just because I wasn't consistent. I didn't keep up on those skills, which is totally fine. I'm back on my game now, and so are my dogs. They're doing so much better in just what? Looking at them like they know the answer. In probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 months, we've been able to get right back on track. And it's like muscle memory. You get out of it for a little bit, and then you get right back on whenever you're back in it. So you can do this. If you need any help, just let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to reach out and help you. Hope you have a great day, guys. Keep on training.